the strength of emotional maturity. Have you ever noticed how Proverbs 16:32 says, "Better a patient person than a warrior, one with self-control than one who takes a city"? That's a strange comparison. Why would controlling your emotions be greater than winning a battle? Because the hardest person you'll ever have to lead isn't someone else, it's yourself. Emotional maturity isn't about never getting angry. It isn't pretending everything is fine. And it definitely isn't hiding your feelings. It's about learning that your emotions are real, but they don't always tell the whole story. Think about the last time someone criticized you. Maybe it was a comment at work, a text that felt cold, a disagreement with someone you love. Your brain probably reacted before you even had time to think. That's normal. Neuroscientists have found that emotional reactions often begin in areas like the amygdala before the parts of your brain responsible for reasoning fully step in. Your brain is trying to protect you. The problem is that it sometimes treats a difficult conversation like it's a life-threatening danger. That's why emotional maturity isn't natural. It's trained. The Bible shows this long before neuroscience ever existed. Joseph had every reason to become bitter after being betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and forgotten in prison. Yet when he finally had the power to take revenge, he chose forgiveness instead. That doesn't mean Joseph stopped feeling pain. It means he stopped letting pain decide who he would become. That's emotional maturity. Your emotions are wonderful servants. They're terrible masters. Psychologists often talk about something called emotional regulation. It doesn't mean suppressing emotions. It means creating enough space between what you feel and what you choose to do. That tiny pause changes everything. Instead of reacting instantly, you respond thoughtfully. Instead of speaking words you'll regret, you ask a question. Instead of assuming the worst, you become curious. Curiosity is surprisingly powerful. Many conflicts grow because your brain fills in missing information with stories. They ignored your message because they don't respect you. They didn't invite you because they don't like you. They disagreed because they're against you. But those stories usually come from fear, not facts. Emotionally mature people learn to replace assumptions with questions. What happened? Can you help me understand? Did something else come up? Those questions protect relationships that assumptions would destroy. Jesus demonstrated this repeatedly. Even while being insulted, misunderstood, and eventually crucified, he wasn't controlled by the emotions surrounding him. His responses reflected purpose instead of impulse. That doesn't mean life stopped hurting. It means his character stayed stronger than the situation. That's a lesson your brain desperately needs today. Modern life rewards instant reactions. Social media encourages immediate opinions. Notifications demand immediate attention. Arguments happen in seconds. But wisdom has always moved slower. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Nearly 2,000 years later, psychology continues to support a similar idea. You can't control every circumstance. You can train how you respond. That training begins with awareness. Start noticing your emotional patterns. Do certain people instantly frustrate you? Does criticism ruin your entire day? Do you become defensive whenever someone disagrees? Those moments aren't failures. They're opportunities to understand yourself better. Many people spend years trying to change everyone around them. Emotionally mature people quietly begin changing themselves first. That's much harder, but it's also much more effective. Researchers studying emotional intelligence have consistently found that people who recognize and manage their emotions tend to build healthier relationships, make better decisions under pressure, and recover more effectively from setbacks. That doesn't happen because they're naturally calmer. It happens because they've practiced. Think about athletes. Nobody expects someone to lift enormous weights without years of training. Yet people expect emotional strength without exercising it. Patience is exercise. Forgiveness is exercise. Listening is exercise. Staying calm during conflict is exercise. Every difficult conversation becomes another repetition. Over time, your emotional muscles grow stronger. There's another habit emotionally mature people develop. They stop needing to win every argument. At first, that sounds like weakness, but it's actually confidence. When your identity isn't built on always being right, you become free to learn, free to apologize, free to change your mind, free to grow. Pride says, protect your image. Wisdom says, protect your character. There's a huge difference. History is full of brilliant people whose success collapsed because they couldn't manage their emotions. Talent opened doors. Character determined how long those doors stayed open. The opposite is true too. Many ordinary people built extraordinary lives because they learned consistency, humility, patience, and self-control. None of those qualities make dramatic headlines, but they quietly shape every relationship, every career, every family, and every future. Here's something else worth remembering. Emotional maturity doesn't mean feeling less. It often means feeling more deeply. The difference is that your feelings no longer control your decisions. You can be hurt without becoming hateful. You can be disappointed without giving up. You can be angry without becoming cruel. You can be afraid and still choose courage. That's real strength. The Apostle Paul wrote, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." That isn't passive. It's incredibly difficult. It asks you to break cycles instead of continuing them. Someone insults you. You answer with respect. Someone disappoints you. You choose honesty instead of revenge. Someone misunderstands you. You respond with patience instead of pride. Those choices don't always change other people, but they always change you. And over time, that's the person your future is built upon. So here's something to try today. The next time your emotions rise, don't ask, "What do I feel like doing?" Ask a better question. What kind of person do I want to become in this moment? That single question creates space between emotion and action. And inside that space is where emotional maturity begins. Because growing up isn't measured by your age. It's measured by your ability to choose wisdom over impulse, peace over pride, and character over comfort. The strongest person in the room is rarely the loudest. It's usually the one who has quietly learned that mastering your own heart is the greatest victory you'll ever win.